Make sourdough cinnamon rolls for tomorrow morning's breakfast. First thing you're gonna do, put 2 tablespoons in a little pot. And in that little pot, put 2/3 cup of milk, and then you're gonna warm this on the stove, melting down the butter. And then if it's too hot, just let it vibe out on the counter for a little while until it cools off. You don't want it too hot, just slightly warm. First start with your paddle. Then we're gonna put an egg in the mixer. We're gonna add in a 1/2 cup of sourdough starter. There we go. We're gonna put in 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'm using cane sugar. And we're gonna mix that together on low. This is mixed up. I just took the temperature on the milk and butter and it is at like 112, so that's a good temp. So we're just gonna throw that in there. 1 cup, 2 cups, and a half. Also need to add in 1 tablespoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of salt, not tablespoon. And we mix. Mix for about a minute. This is what it's gonna look like. We won't be using this paddle anymore. We'll be using the dough hook next. If you have a dough bowl cover, you can cover your dough so it doesn't get too dried out. All right, it's been 30 minutes, so now we're gonna put on our hook attachment, and then we are gonna mix it for about 6 to 8 minutes. While this is on its final knead of the night, butter your bowl up. That way it's ready to go right into it when it's done. This is done kneading, so I'm gonna take it off the dough hook, got it into the buttered dish, and I'm just going to like roll it around in the butter so it's all like buttered up. We're gonna cover it with some plastic. Now we're gonna let this sit for about 1 hour. All right, we just got to that hour mark, and so now we're gonna do some stretch and folds. I just need to wet my hands before I do it so I can do it good, but I'm gonna show you. Just pull up one side, tuck it over, pull up this side. I kind of need to use both hands to hold the dough down, but you pull it up, tuck it over. You do 4. Turn it. You're gonna turn it like 1/4 of a circle each time. So this is my last one. Up. I'm trying to show you and do it, it's really hard. And then over. So we did 4 stretch and folds. I did 1 more for extra measure. We're just gonna let it hang out on the counter all night since it gets cold in here at night. So that's what we're gonna do. Catch you in the morning.
Next morning, the dough has doubled in size, and we are going to oil and flour the counter. I'm not gonna put a ton, just enough to where that doesn't stick on it. Use a paper towel. And we're going to flour our surface. Going to put a little flour on it. We are going to aim to shape this into a 16 by 12 rectangle. It's not really stretching out anymore, so I'm gonna let it rest for like 5 to 10 minutes, come back and stretch it out some more. The dough rested for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna see if I can stretch it out a little more without it like resisting. But this is like some incredible dough to work with. It's not super sticky. It's stretching out real good. This is about, I think, the best rectangle oval I'm gonna get. Then you're gonna put your mixture together. This is 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 3 teaspoons of cinnamon, a 1/2 cup of sugar, and 1 tiny teaspoon of flour. Just going to put this all over it, but leaving about a 1/2 inch along the edges. I'm just gonna use my hands. And we're gonna leave like a border at the top and a border at the bottom that this isn't on. But we're gonna go all the way to the edges this way. I'm gonna measure them about 1 inch wide. We're gonna cut these about 1-ish inch wide. You could roll it up and then cut it like that. I like to do it like this, where I take the pizza cutter and I just cut my strips, and then I just roll up the strips. Now we're gonna take the dough and roll up your cinnamon roll. And this is what it looks like, a perfect cinnamon roll. Now we're gonna put this, get your cookie pan with parchment, and we are going to put them all on the parchment paper. This is what they look like. Now cover your cinnamon rolls with plastic wrap. I'm gonna put mine in the oven with the oven light on, but the oven won't be on. We want them to get real nice and puffy, so we're gonna let them sit and rise for about 1 to 2 hours. These have proofed for 2 hours in the oven, and now we are going to bake them. While the cinnamon rolls are baking, that's a good time to put the icing together. Just mix that up real nice and good in your KitchenAid or hand mixer until it's nice and fluffy. This is 30 minutes, and I think we're gonna pull them out because they're looking pretty good. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Picture perfect, beautiful cinnamon rolls.
I'm gonna let these cool just a tad, and then we're gonna put the icing. Now we're just gonna dollop some icing on each cinnamon roll, and then we're gonna come back and spread it out. I just wanna make sure I have enough for each one. Now I'm just going to spread it out all over. It has been over a year since I made these. I'm so excited to taste them again. Which one do I want? I'm gonna go for this one. What I did was I tucked the little tail under it. That way it didn't like flap open, it stayed under it, and look how pretty of a, like a little seam that gave it. So pretty. Okay, cheers! They're so good. They're soft and chewy. They're not like overly sweet, but they're like very sweet. And I baked these for 30 minutes. And they're perfect. The best part, the middle. Happy dance.